If you don't know where your money is going, you won't know where it's leaking. Let's talk about a system that every business owner needs, but a few actually have. A simple way to keep track of your revenue and expenses. I'm going to walk you through my revenue and expense tracker that helps me know exactly where my money is going every month and allows me to scale without guessing. Today, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the revenue and expense tracker. Let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to click on File and you want to make your own copy. Once you make your copy, you can rename it and save it to your drive, and that's the copy that you will be using. So let's go ahead and look at the January tab. So this tracker has 14 tabs. It has all the months of the year. Then it also has an expense breakdown as well as a summary tab. So I'm going to go ahead and go through a few of these main tabs for the months of the year, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the expense breakdown as well as the summary. What you're going to do is you're going to double click for the calendar to pop up. And let's go ahead and just select a date for January. So let's say that now you're trying to track your revenue and expenses. You're going to go ahead and select a date. Then you're going to jump over to the category column, which is going to give you the option to select income, if it's a business expense or a personal expense. So let's go ahead and select income. Now you're going to see a lot of the subcategory options. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to select the income this is coming from. So let's pretend that it's coming from brand deals. Now you're going to go ahead and put a description here. Let's say that you got a brand deal from Toyota in the amount of $2,000. Now you're going to go ahead and select the payment method. And you can go ahead and add payment methods here. So if you ever need to add anything, you can just add another item and then click done. Okay, that's an option. Same thing with the subcategories. All you have to do is click the little pencil icon and it's going to pull up all the subcategories where you can delete any of these categories or you can add your own category. So let's go ahead and say this is a business expense. Let's say the business expense was advertising, and you ran some Facebook ads, and you ran some Facebook ads in the amount of $500. And the payment method was, let's say, credit. Let's go ahead and jump to the next month, February, and we'll go ahead and select today's date, and the category will be a personal expense. So the subcategory, let's look down for personal expense. Let's say that it's, well, gas would technically, if you're a business owner, would be a business expense. So let's say healthcare. And we can go ahead and put Anthem here, as well as the amount and the payment method. Now that you have everything filled out, so you're going to do the same thing all the way down for the entire month, for every month of the year. Once you have everything filled out, you're going to go ahead and look at the expense breakdown. Now, I love this category. I do this all the time for my tracking is I like to see what's coming out. So you can go ahead and put the date and then the company name of everything, all your expenses, and select whether it's a business expense or personal expense. So this category is for expenses, as well as what subcategory. Is it car insurance? Is it groceries, and how much? And then the payment frequency. Is this a weekly expense? Is it a monthly, quarterly, or annually? And then if it is active, frozen, and canceled. So what this means is, what I usually do, let's say that I have a personal expense here and it's Netflix. The subcategory would be subscriptions. And Netflix, I think right now, 700, I think it's $7 a month. And this is a monthly expense. Well, if I'm looking at my budget tracker, which is another template, and I say, you know what, I need to cut down on expenses, and this is something that I was paying for, what I can come here and say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and freeze this. So maybe I canceled or I put on pause my Netflix subscription, knowing that I'm going to come back to it maybe in a couple months when I have more budget to spend. Or if I canceled it, I can go ahead and place cancel. So that's what these payment status is for. That way you can keep track of your budget. So then we're going to go ahead and look at the summary tab. And with the summary tab, it's going to do all the calculations for you. So remember how we put some items in January and February? What it's going to do is it's going to calculate that for you. So it shows you here in January your total income, your total expenses, and what your net profit is. And then in February, we didn't place any income here. So it doesn't calculate the income unless you place it in there, but we had expenses. And so now our net profit is negative 400, and you will see your total income here as well as your total expenses, and it will calculate it on the bottom. One thing that I missed that I want to show you is at the very end of the sheet, you are going to be seeing your total income for the month and your total expenses and your net profit for each of these months. So if you just scroll down, you're going to see all of your totals here, but the final summary of each month, you'll be able to see it in this summary chart as well. All right, I hope this really helps you guys out for your revenue and expense to track it for 2025. I love this tracker. It keeps me in line with my revenue, my expenses. It helps me notate like how much more revenue I need to make each month to meet my quotes, or as well as how much I need to cut back when I'm trying to budget. DM me or shoot me an email, as well as check out my Stan store for any additional templates you may need to streamline your business, your workflow, or your product. If this tracker is exactly what you need, I've linked it in the description so that you can grab it and start using it today. And if you are now building systems for your business, go ahead and watch the full Google Sheets Trackers for Entrepreneurs playlist. There is a tracker for every part of your business. I'll see you in the next one.